Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Moury and this is my fourth literature critique. So this week for my featured text, I chose 14 Cows for America written by Carmen Agredidi. It is a multicultural picture book which was named a New York Times bestseller. I chose this book because most children in schools now were not born yet on September 11th, 2001. It is our responsibility to ensure that the world never forgets not only that horrible day, but also the ways that the world came together and supported each other after it. 14 Cows for America tells the story of Kimeli Nyoma. When Kimeli returns to visit his Maasai people in Kenya, they eagerly receive him, excited to hear his stories after studying in America. However, Kimeli only has one tale to tell. The people sit in stunned silence as he tells them of the horrible day in September when planes had flown into 2 tall buildings in New York City. After they heard the story, the Maasai were moved to comfort America with their most meaningful gift, 14 cows. My first lesson is for a 3rd grade geography class. I would have students read 14 Cows for America in groups determined by their seating arrangements. The teacher will connect with a 3rd grade English-speaking classroom in Kenya. The students will create videos of themselves on Flipgrid, telling each other about aspects of daily life where they live. The teachers will encourage students to think about how their area's agriculture, industry, and natural resources play a role in their daily lives. Students will comment on each other's videos with any questions that they might have. I decided to do this lesson because I think it will be a great way for students to expand their knowledge of the world. English is one of the more commonly spoken languages in Kenya, so it should be possible for students to communicate. By using technology to communicate with a classroom from a different continent, the lesson brings a different culture to life, helping students to deepen their comprehension. My second lesson is for an 8th grade technology class. The lesson will begin by having students take turns reading sections of 14 Cows for America. The teacher will then read aloud a note from Kimeli Nyoma. Afterwards, the teacher will guide students in a discussion of modern communication, comparing it to how long it took Kimeli to bring the story of 9/11 to his people. Then, students will collaborate in writing a letter to the Maasai people, thanking them for the gift of cows. The teacher will share the same letter on 3 different social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, asking followers to share, like, and comment on which continent they live. This lesson should be taught at the beginning of a school year for 2 reasons. First, the date will be around September 11th, which corresponds to the lesson, and second, the class will have plenty of time to wait for the rest of the lesson to be completed. For the next month, students will track their social media posts answering the given questions. Here is an example of a letter that I created using a template on Canva and a fake Twitter post that teachers could use. A Book with No Pictures, written by B.J. Novak, is a realistic fiction read-aloud that captures the attention of young listeners by making the reader say ridiculous things. Packed with silly nonsense words and goofy sayings, this book is sure to make both reader and listener laugh out loud. It was named #1 New York Times bestseller. Finding Winnie, the true story of the world's most famous bear, is the biography of the real-life Winnie the Pooh. It begins with Harry Colborne, a veterinarian who is setting off to take care of horses in World War I. When he spots a man with a little bear on a rope, he decided that he had to try to buy it from him. Thus began the journey of a bear who went to war, ate vegetables, posed for pictures, rode in cars, and moved to a zoo where he met a little boy named Christopher Robin. It was written by Lindsay Maddock, and it won the 2016 Caldecott Medal. Frindle, by Andrew Clements, tells the story of Nick, a new 5th grader who has just started a class with the most feared English teacher of all, Mrs. Granger. When Nick finds out that words get their meanings from ordinary people, he decides to create a new word, Frindle. What starts out as a harmless experiment turns into a full-blown worldwide revolution, and Mrs. Granger does not seem to be happy about it at all. Frindle is a realistic fiction book that won the Christopher Award and the 1999 Young Hoosier Book Award. My next book is Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. This is a collection of poems that tell silly stories, accompanied by imaginative yet simple drawings. It is a poetry and modern fantasy book, and it was named a 1974 ALA Notable Book. In You Are Not Small by Anna Kang, 2 animals are arguing about who is big and who is small. Each one thinks that he is not the anomaly. This book of comparisons is sure to be something that children can understand and relate to. It is a modern fantasy picture book that won the 2015 Theodore Seuss Geisel Award. Alma and How She Got Her Name by Juana Martinez Neal is a realistic fiction picture book about a little girl who is upset because her name is too long. That is, she is upset until her father explains to her about all the people she is named after. Once she learns the stories of her grandmother, grandfather, great-grandmother, and others, Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Piera Candela finally learns to be proud of her name and of her family too. This book was named a 2019 Caldecott Honor Book. My last book is the 2019 Caldecott Medal winner, Hello Lighthouse by Sophie Blackell. This realistic fiction picture book tells the story of a lighthouse and all that goes on around it. No matter what happens, whether it's the fog that covers the lighthouse, or the ships that pass by it, or even the baby that is born in it, everything is written down in a big logbook. That's all for my 4th literature critique video. Thanks for listening.